create an ecosystem that would unite artificial intelligence and finance to make asset management simple, scalable, and secure. That's how Aurum was born. The starting point was EXAI Bot, the first AI-powered trading solution, an algorithm that laid the foundation for an entire era. From that moment, we began expanding at the speed of light. We've built and are implementing a vision that includes trading AI bots, exchanges, neobank, crypto cards, and real-world asset tokenization, official registration in Hong Kong, and the first features in global media. The creation of Aurum Neobank, the launch of Zeus AI Bot, and the flash loan license surpassing $1 million in profits. The opening of our headquarters in Dubai, where hundreds of industry leaders gathered. The world started to talk about us. We were featured by Binance, Benzinga, Crypto Reporter, and Blockchain Wire. Forbes called us the new infrastructure of global finance. But this is no time to pause. We're gaining momentum. We launch Aurum Academy, strengthen our team, and appoint Brian Benson, a professional with 27 years of experience, as our CEO. Global events in Vietnam, Dubai, and Antalya. Thousands of cards sold, and the launch of the AI agent ecosystem. Today, we stand on the stage of Token 2049 Singapore, alongside the leaders of Binance, Tether, KuCoin, and Tron. And this moment once again proves Aurum is a global ecosystem of worldwide scale. But the most important part, this is only the beginning. The next decade will be one of expansion. In 2025 to 2026, we bring Aurum Neobank to the mass market. Hundreds of thousands of users, millions of transactions. The launch of Aurum Exchange, which reaches $5 billion in trading volume within its first year. AI bots manage over $100 million in assets. The first 5,000 cash-in and withdrawal terminals appear. Aurum establishes its presence in 10 countries and secures its position in the global market. In 2027 to 2028, we raise the bar. Neobank reaches 2 million users and 1.5 million cards. During this period, Aurum DEX, a next-generation decentralized exchange, launches. Personalized AI-based services emerge. Credit scoring and capital management. The first RWA deals worth $500 million are integrated. The terminal network expands to 20,000 points across 20 countries. By 2029, Neobank evolves into a super app. Flight bookings, taxis, car rentals, food delivery, while transactions exceed $20 billion. Aurum DEX cements its position within the ecosystem with $5 billion in trading volume, becoming a key element of Aurum's DeFi direction. AI agents operate for hundreds of thousands of businesses, and RWA grows to $5 billion. Aurum becomes an ecosystem that accompanies users every day. In 2030 to 2033, we reach global scale. Neobank's user base hits 12 million and over 10 million cards. Inside the super app, 15 to 20 integrated services and partnerships with 500 global brands. Aurum Exchange reaches $90 billion in trading volume and enters the top 10 global crypto exchanges. The terminal network expands to 100,000 plus locations across 50 plus countries. The annual Aurum Global Summit gathers 5,000 leaders. By 2033 to 2035, Aurum Neobank enters the top 5 global neobanks with a valuation of $10 billion plus. Aurum Exchange remains in the top 10, while Aurum DEX surpasses $20 billion in trading volume. AI manages over $5 billion in assets, and RWA exceeds $20 billion. We are present in 75 countries, with 1,000 global partners and over 100,000 terminals. The Aurum Global Summit brings together 10,000 industry leaders. Aurum becomes the symbol of a new financial era, a system that made finance accessible to everyone, a story that has already transformed the industry, and a future that already belongs to us.
Hey, hey, hey. Well, good evening to a lot of you. Good morning to some of you. I see we've got that late night team on again from India. Well done, guys. It's what, 1:30 in the morning, and you guys are up and at it here, ready for the event. Thank you for staying up late, and our guests from the Emirates. I see you guys. It's midnight. They're just going past midnight there. Big crowd on today, and a lot of you are looking for updates, I suppose, but this is not an update call. This is the traditional call, although I will mention the fabulous news that arrived today, and an industry I'm very fond of. I've been involved in the gold industry for over 12 years, and I have a lot of experience in that area, and quite interesting to see how Aurum now have partnered with one of the top, I suppose, top suppliers of gold, and working with central banks and government now. It gives a lot of credibility to what we're doing here. And apparently they're going to do it with 3 or 4 different governments, different central banks, tying into this gold infrastructure. And as we all know, gold is God's money. Gold is the real money. This paper stuff that we have is not money at all. It's you see, what we have is called currency. It's not called money. We think it's money. We call it money, but it's not money. If you take your money, let's say you have, I don't know, dirhams or yen or naira, and you come to my country and want to buy an ice cream. The shop will say, "What's this?" And you go, "Well, it's my money." It's what? It's that doesn't work here. I'd like an ice cream. Well, you're not getting any ice cream with that. That's not money. What is this? Oh, it's naira from Nigeria. It's dirhams from Dubai. It's dollars from America. Well, we don't accept dollars because it's not money. It's currency, and generally your currency only works in your country. So what you have, if people tell you they've got money, I have a joke with people. I say, "Hey, have you any money with you?" And they go, "Yeah, yeah." And they open their wallet and they show me money, and I go, "No, that's not money." You think that's money? That's paper, paper with numbers written on it. It's nonsense. The real money is gold, of course. And of course, with the blockchain now, the digital version of gold is Bitcoin, because there's not an infinite supply of Bitcoin. There's 21 million. There will never be 22 million. There will never be 23 million, because of that fixed content, that fixed supply. Whereas the central banks and governments are printing money. They just print it on a printing press. They throw it out there. It creates inflation and deflation. I mean, it's a manipulator. And I suppose, don't get me started into the education about the history of money. I've studied it for many, many years, and I'm delighted that the company we're going to look at tonight is now engaging with physical metals, digital version of it, tokenized gold. You can have the physical metal at the end of a period of time. I think after 12 months, you can actually have the physical gold if you want the physical gold, but you can also tokenize it and shift it as well. You can sell your gold token to somebody else, and then they own the gold, and the ownership is represented on the blockchain. It's a digital representation. It's like the deeds of your home, the deeds of your house, if your real estate is written into the deeds. The blockchain will identify the ownership of assets going forward. It's called real world assets tokenization, a big industry, guys. And it's amazing how Brian Benson can pull off these kind of deals, the Visa card deal and many, many others. But very, very impressed, not really with the delivery of the presentation today. We have 70,000 distributors around the world, so it's nothing. 70,000 in the whole world know about Aurum, so really, really it's nothing. But it's the information that was delivered today. There's only 1,000 places on that Zoom. It was very hard to cram 1,000 people, or sorry, 70,000 people into a room that only accepts 1,000 on Zoom. So it has its limitations. However, the information will leak out there very, very soon, and that's all good news. Now let's get tonight started and see where we go. I just want to take a quick look at our guest list tonight, and A-Ray is here as well as Adibullah Arin. How are you? Welcome to the call. Or should I say, Jesuk Bamila. Jesuk Bamila. Alfred Williams is here, as well as Alan, and Alfie's always here. Aminu's here, Andrew's here. Arlisha, how are you? How's things going? Ayo, welcome to the call. Baba's here, Barry's here, Brad's here, Brian's here. Who else is here? Chan, Charles, Chica, my goodness, Chris the Queen is here, Nejla's here as well. Derek's here. Digital Elite Skills is here, all the way from the small town of London. Welcome to today's call. Dominion City, Hatfield is here, as well as Donald and Belly and Eric and Faith and Ferda and Frank, and you're all here, guys. Freedom's here, Gary's here, Glenn's here. I'm just going to go down to the bottom. iPhone, you're here. I was expecting you. iPhone 9. You're out of date. You're out of date. iPhone and in brackets 9. I don't know what that means. But anyway, Izzy's here, Jan's here, John Michael's here, Jason's here, another Jason's here, another Jason's here, Joseph Morgan's here, Bareko's here, Jennifer's here. Who else is here? There's lots of people from all over the world. Josh is here. How are you? Carter's here, Kathy's here, Kyle's here, Kajartan's here. Lady V is always here. We've got Larry in the house. Who else have we got? Laverne, Liesa, and Otis. Liesa. I'm sorry. I'm just doing my best. Mark, Mary, Mela, Michael, Milan, Morgan, Navin, Nadaku, ND Looks. You're always here, whatever that means. ND Looks. I don't know what that is. Nosa, you're here as well. As Ojali is here, and I'm not going to go down the rest. It's just too many to read out. I go way down to the bottom. I just want to see. Yeah, I see you, Siglin. I see Sheila. I see Shane. I see Shankar. I see Sir Lancelot's here. Sophie's here. Slime Sleek's here. Sudip's here. Sunday's here. Suzara's here. Imagine, Sunday, you're here on a Wednesday. Well done, Sunday. Thank you for coming to the call. Treasure's here, Toad. That's enough. That's enough of that. You're all here. That's what counts. Put your hand up if you're not here. Let me know if you're not here. I'll call out your name if you're not here. You should be here, I think. Anyway, let's get started.
Recording in progress.
Well, thank you for joining us on this short overview. We're here to examine the Aurum Foundation, something I came across first quarter, maybe second quarter of last year, around about April time. I've been turning it upside down, shaking it around, checking out who's behind it, who's the CEO, do they have experience, do they have connections, and from my findings, you'll find out in a few minutes that these guys appear to know what they're up to. Very, very impressive, I've got to say. I'm also going to take a quick look at the product range that they offer. Maybe there's something interesting to me or interesting to you or your family, my family. I don't know. Let's take a look at that as well. And for those of you to stay on at the very, very end, I'm happy to share with you my understanding of their affiliate program. I don't work for this company. I'm not paid to present this information. I'm not here to recruit you. I'm not here to share a link with you. I'm not recruiting anybody. I'm just here to show you exactly how I've found the information. I'm going to share that information with you. My little bit of due diligence, but of course, it's very important for you to do your own. And I always suggest when you get involved in any kind of business, it's always prudent to seek professional advice. I would say is the right thing to do regarding any kind of business. I would generally reach out to my own accountant. He's pretty wise on things. He's very familiar with many types of businesses, online businesses, traditional businesses. I would generally run something past him, and obviously, I want to understand, is there any taxation and things like that and things that would be important. But my dad said, you're big enough, ugly enough, and old enough to make your own decisions. So anyway, my views are my views and my opinions are my opinions, but I'm happy to share them with you. So again, I'm not a professional accountant or financial advisor. Do your own due diligence. And let's take a quick look at who's behind this. We've got Mr. Brian Benson as the CEO. Very impressive. From United States. Was a trader with Morgan Stanley, a reputable bank, and then moved over to Binance. And at Binance, he did a remarkable job. Binance went from nothing to $1 billion in 6 months. Incredible. Beating Apple, beating Microsoft, beating who else? Tesla. $1 billion in 6 months. And this man, his area was responsible for up to 20% of that. Brian Benson was the managing director, not of some small department, the managing director of all of LATAM. That's like saying Brian Benson created the Binance brand in Asia or Europe, or, the continent he dealt with was Central and South America, LATAM, Latin America, everywhere from Brazil, which was very, very popular, all the way up through all of those countries, Bolivia, Paraguay, Argentina, Chile, Peru, right up to Mexico, right up to the United States border. This man was responsible for the development of Binance, and he's done a phenomenal job over there. And what that means is at least we're dealing with somebody with experience. That's important. We're not dealing with some new kid on the block that's attempting or trying something. So it was quite impressive when I found this guy was behind it. I did a quick Google search. You can see I typed his name here, Brian Benson, Binance. Very impressive. He's everywhere, and for good reason. There's images here when he's much younger. There's images of him as he appears today. A man of sound upbringing, a man of intelligence, a man of know-how, a man that when we go through some of the information on him, it's quite impressive. This man is quite famous. He's spoken about in Forbes. Forbes would do a lot of those rich lists. You know, who are the richest people in North America? Who are the top 100 richest people in the world? Who's the richest people in Asia or Africa? Forbes do a lot of data research and pulling to create these lists. They also interview a lot of the top CEOs. But here we have Forbes writing positively about the opportunity. They're telling us that Forbes is providing institutional grade trading. And of course, many people have found that out for themselves. But they've also announced that Brian Benson is now part of their finance council. So Forbes see enough in this man to promote him, to endorse him as a man of knowledge, a man of integrity, a man a man they're happy to put on the finance council. And then I found out that they had this partnership with the issuing bank for Visa and MasterCard, not just Visa. This image shows Visa. But when you can brand Aurum and Visa on the same piece of plastic, that tells you something. Obviously, the issuing bank or Visa have done their due diligence on this company. And that's important for you and I as consumers, that, you know, if Visa are partnering up, they must know who Brian Benson is. They've obviously checked out who the directors are. Do they have the licenses, where their offices are? I'm sure they asked for last year's accounts. If I was Visa, that's what I'd be asking. But when I saw Morgan Stanley, followed by Binance, followed by Forbes, followed by Visa, all of these things, all of these big brands put together, it had me to dig into this a whole lot more. I then tracked him last year. He started off in Argentina at the Ethereum conference. They have a week down there. Actually, they move it around the world, but last year it was in Argentina. Brian Benson was at that conference, but then he was at Token 2049. He was down in London. He was over in not Belgium. He was in the Netherlands. He was in Germany. He was in Slovenia. He was in Greece. He was in Hong Kong. He was traveling the world building his brand. He was out there strutting his stuff. He was out there. But here at Token 2049, this is the largest crypto conference on the planet. 25,000 people showed up, and guess who was on stage? Brian Benson. They had a stand there. He's great friends with Richard Teng. Richard Teng is the CEO of Binance, and he knows Brian from Binance. And many people have told me they're delighted that Richard Teng is the CEO of Binance, because if Brian had got the job, maybe we wouldn't be having this conversation. Towards the end of the year, he ended up in the Emirates, speaking at many of the blockchain conferences there in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. He was interviewed by Cointelegraph and many, many media companies. Lots of good interviews, including Wendy O. She asked some great questions. It's something you should probably go and listen to. But more importantly, you need to listen to Brian Benson's answers, and that will give you a feel for the man, a feel for his mission, a feel for his vision. And then we noted that he was selected as a panel of experts. Here he is, Brian Benson, second from the right-hand side of your screen there, Brian Benson from Aurum. But look who's sitting next to him, the co-founder of Sandbox, the co-founder of 1inch, and the founder of EasyFlow. I mean, these are major, major blockchain platforms. And here we have Brian Benson, considered an expert in the middle of all of that. And notwithstanding that, he was then invited to the Satoshi Roundtable, private invitation, where the experts in AI, the experts in fintech, the experts in Web3 and blockchain come together annually to discuss the future of this industry. And again, Brian Benson was respected enough to be invited privately to attend this very, very special event. When I spoke to Brian Benson, I asked him, tell me more about Binance and tell me more about yourself and how did you get this job at Binance and what did you do down there? And I said, do you know the founder of Binance? He said, oh, I know him well. I said, do you have his phone number? He says, yes, I do. And I said, okay. And he said, I'll send you something better. He sent me this picture of himself, Brian Benson, and CZ, the very famous billionaire who created Binance. So this is the real Brian Benson. This is the CEO of Aurum. I then went to check out their registrations and their licensing and stuff. I found this that had a registration in Hong Kong and also a license issued by the government of Dubai, a commercial license. You can see it written here in Arabic, also in English, and that was important. And I believe they have offices in Dubai as well, and those are open to you and open to the public with appointment. You can use those offices yourself for meetings with the company and to meet Brian Benson when he is there. So that's as much as I did in terms of the company. Quite impressive. The next thing was to examine the products. Did they have something that might be interesting? That was my concern. No point understanding a company unless you have interest in their wares, interest in what they're marketing. Now, they have this point of sale terminal. I've actually seen it in operation. I actually used it. I had those earlier. What did I do with them? But I've actually tried this machine itself. This machine, we know most shops already have one, but this is different. It accepts crypto payments in addition to fiat payments. So the prototype is certainly up and operating. Brian Benson had it with him last week over in Brazil. He was testing it down there. He had it connected to the internet through Wi-Fi. People were presenting their cards and paying on this machine. They're writing a little bit more software to create micro payments, and then it'll go into to roll out. It'll go into manufacturing, and I have no idea where it's going to end up first. I'm sure they'll try it in some countries before they roll it out around the world. But a great product. It saves businesses money. It's more efficient than the old banking rails of Visa and MasterCard. We can pay the shopkeepers faster, and a shopkeeper being able to put a sign outside its place, "We accept cryptocurrency payments." That's a great way to introduce or invite new customers into the premises. So it's a great tool for shopkeepers. For you, if you were the person that introduced this to a particular shop, maybe you have a relative or a friend or a neighbor or a colleague that owns a shop, if you were the person that got this machine installed, then you would get a micropayment every time the blockchain component of this is used. So that's quite interesting. They're developing ATM machines. They've already released an exchange. What's different about the exchange is Brian Benson has agreed to give 50% of the commissions back to the community. So if you consider the likes of a Binance, maybe your homework tonight is go and find out how much Binance made last year. And then ask yourself this: how did Binance make all of that money? And you'll find the biggest components coming from fees and transaction fees on the exchange. Well, imagine Binance offered 50% of what they made back to the community. We'd probably stay with Binance. But if somebody's going to give you 50% back, I mean, that's a great offer. And I think that's going to become very attractive as this starts to roll out. It's not in its fully fledged version. It works perfectly well, but it's not branded up yet. It's in public beta test. Rather than having it in the back door, testing it, it's out in the public. You can use it today. There's people using this since last November already, and it'll be upgraded. The CEO of this division of the Aurum Foundation is Leonardo. I've met that gentleman as well. Very knowledgeable guy on exchanges. He worked with the Venezuelan government. He worked with Brian Benson in Binance, and that's how he knows Brian Benson. He's looking after this division, and it's pretty special when it gets up and running. They've also got a staking product here where you can make 17 to 20% a year without trading. So you're not risking your money, not trading your money. 17 to 20%. Imagine you had a little bit of Ethereum or a little bit of USDT sitting on a wallet, sitting on an exchange, doing nothing. By parking it here in the Aurum exchange, it can give you free USDT every single day, free Bitcoins every day, free Solana, free Ethereum, free XRP. Whatever it is you deposit, you're getting this free, and there's no lock-in. In other words, you can take your profit and principal out any time you desire, and it's not used for trading purposes, it's used for liquidity purposes. So, and then just announced today, Aurum Foundation has entered a strategic partnership with Clink Gold. Clink Gold is a very reputable company. They've been in the industry for 25 years in the gold bullion market. And they've teamed up with Aurum for what's known as real world assets. They're going to tokenize gold. so that you can buy a little fraction of gold on the blockchain. The ownership will be digitally owned as yours. It'll be they're also working with the government of Sierra Leone and many other governments as well, and they're going to tokenize physical gold. And how it'll work is you can order the gold token, and after 12 months, you can take the physical gold if you want the physical 24 karat 999 pure gold. But 50% off your order will be used for getting you a yield on that. So it's going to make money for you. Gold doesn't make money. Gold is a static thing. Gold, gold, you don't mortgage gold. Gold is a piece of metal that sits generally in a vault and does nothing. It goes up and down in value with the market, but it itself doesn't make money. However, when you tokenize it like this, it can make money. So there's going to be one part where you get the physical gold, the other part where you're going to make money every day with it. And that's a system that's going to roll out soon. This is a new development for Aurum. They're going to do the same with real estate, and they're also going to do the same with data centers. And this is quite interesting development, and it just shows the progress. It shows the ecosystem that's evolving with this particular opportunity. That said, let's listen quickly to Brian Benson himself. He's created thousands of millionaires when he worked over there at Binance, but now he wants to do it with the CEO hat on. Over at Binance, he was only MD, managing director. Now a CEO of Aurum, he wants to create 1,000 millionaires and build his own billion-dollar brand. Have a listen to this.
We're on a mission to create 1,000 millionaires that don't have $1 million today. So if we can come up with a system whereby there's, hundreds of thousands of people in there, but 1,000 of these people turn into millionaires, then those assets are inside of our platform. That turns us into a unicorn right away. And so that's really the goal that I have as an executive at the company is how do we get people that don't have $1 million today to get them to $1 million through saving, through yield bearing assets, through a lot, compounding interest, through a lot of these things that have been around for a long time, but that not everyone in the world uses. And these are tools that are super important to get us there. So that's how we're measuring it internally is if we can get to the point where we have 1,000 people that have become millionaires through our system and through working with our products, then that gets us really close to the unicorn valuation. And we want to be a fintech unicorn. I think Binance was the fastest fintech unicorn ever in the history. Yeah. I think it took less than 6 months. We used to have a slide about that in our pitch deck. So I'm pretty sure I've done this before. I've been involved in one of the fastest growing fintech unicorns in the world. And I think what we have at Aurum is actually very similar to when I started at Binance.
I think what we have at Aurum actually is very similar to when I started at Binance. That was the strap line there, and of course he said he's done this before, and that ought to give some confidence to his client base that this man has done it before. He wants to do it again, and it certainly seems to be on track to do that. Now, to get involved with the company, it's $20 for the whole year. It's a subscription-based model. And in terms of marketing, that's all you can do. You can only market the website. So, for instance, if it was a travel company, you could promote a travel website. If it was a clothing company, you could promote a clothing website. But all you're able to do here is promote a $20 business. You're not allowed to sell financial services. You're not licensed to do that. You're not licensed to sell investments. You can't do that. But what you can do is you can promote a $20 opportunity. And when the customer registers with Aurum through the subscription, it's then that they deal directly with Aurum for any of their products. So they're not getting them from you as such, because you can't supply Visa cards, you can't supply ATM machines, you can't supply gold. So Aurum can provide all of that. So all you can do is market the website, and then the customer, if they wish to engage, after they do their own due diligence, then they engage directly with Aurum, and that's how you should position it. So I like the physical products. I like the card, the ATM machines, the point of sale terminal, now the gold. But what about some of their other digital products? I'm told this is their best product, the EXI bot. It's been around since 2023. It's done remarkably well. In fact, we can see on the screen here, for the month of January, it produced $11 million in profits. And that was with a trading fund ending at $77 million back in February 2026. I also know the numbers for March, the 1st of March 2026. That number went up to $90 million in the profit that month. the month of February was actually $13 million. On average, the fund produces about 17.5% on average. You don't get that. I'll never be getting that, but that's what the entire fund is able to command, about 17.5% a month. We can have a look at certainly 2025 results. You can see here high 15s, 17, 17, 17, 17, 16, 17, 18, 17. So the average is about 17.5% a month. As I said, you're not getting that. What you might be able to receive would be determined by the size of the account you decide to operate with them. So this is going to be available on Apple Pay, and I think it's already available on Google Pay. They're just finalizing the Apple application, but they're going to give you 8 or 9 wallets. They'll give you your own USDT wallet. They'll give you your own Bitcoin wallet, your Ethereum wallet, your BNB wallet, your Pepe wallet, your Doge wallet. They'll give you Solana wallet, and they'll give you Polygon wallet. 8 wallets, I think you get. And then it's up to you to fund them however you wish to do that. And if you decide to assign some of your cryptos to, for instance, the EXI bot, it would depend on the size of the deposit, what your likely benefit might be. So let's say you were going to try $105. $105 falls into that basic category, but so does $170 or $204. It all falls into that category. Those customers are getting on average about 10% a month. It's not fixed like that. It's a moving target, but based on past performance, those accounts are hitting about 10% a month, which is quite sensational. Again, past performance isn't indicative of any future results. I mean, you can't predict the price of Bitcoin tomorrow or the next day. So how could you ever predict this? But based on past performance, these accounts are achieving in around 10% a month. For those of you that can do better than that, let's say you're able to try $400 or $720 or $916. That would fall into the standard category. Those accounts are benefiting to the tune of about 11%. For those of you who can do between 1,000 and 2,500, those accounts are getting 12%, etc., etc. You can see yourself, obviously, the higher the account, the better the potential reward. I had a number of questions about this. First question was, how does the company make money? If they're paying out all this money, where's the company getting its money? And of course, I was told the answer is right on the screen here, because if the fund is doing 17.5%, and let's say you're one of the 10% customers, the company gets the difference. They get that spread. I did some research, and that's quite typical in traditional, what you call accredited investors, where they take 70, you take 70%, say the company takes, the trading team takes 30%. That's how the splits are usually done. So here it works similar to that if you're getting 10%, the company makes that 7% on every trade. For those of you that are getting 11%, the company still makes 6. For those that get 12, the company makes 5. For those that get 13, the company's getting 4. So in every instance here, the company also gets money. And that's very, very important, that everybody's winning, not just you, that the company also has to remain strong as well. So that was my first question. The second question I had was, can you take these profits out, and when? So the first part of that was, yes, you can take the profits out, and the when part was any day you want. So that was quite interesting. You remove your profits at any time. I asked about the principal. They said they have 9 bots or 8 bots running. This particular one has a 35% what you call early retirement fee if you take it out inside a year. But all the other bots, you can take out your profit and principal at any time you want, just like the exchange product, the liquidity staking product. You can take your money out anytime you want. So profit here can come out anytime. Principal has a couple of rules around it. And that's pretty good news too. So the next question I had was, what was the next question? I asked them about, how does the company make money? I asked them, can you take out your profits? I asked them when you could take them out. Yes, and I asked them about the principal. So that's really, I suppose, all about that. I was then able to get my hands on a couple of accounts just to evaluate them, to take a quick look and see how they were performing. This account here, you can see, was created on the 17th of April 2025. Can you see that at the bottom left? 17th of April. The account was funded with $500, and when I was able to look at it on the 17th of September, it was $882. So it actually had made $382 in a 5-month period. And whilst I thought that wasn't very good, I thought, that's not very much, like $382 in 5 months. It didn't really do anything for me. However, when I worked out the maths, I was very, very impressed because if you take the profit, which is 382 over the deposit of 500, it actually works out at 76%. What bank in the world could you get 76% in 5 months? What piece of real estate anywhere in the world could you purchase that if you sold it 5 months later, you'd make 76%? It's unheard of. So in terms of a reward, 76% is sensational for a very small account. I mean, you don't have to start with 500, you can start with 100. But that was quite impressive. I then got my hands on a larger account. I wanted to see how the bigger accounts were doing. So for those that are what's known as accredited investors or venture capitalists or business owners, those type of people, I wanted to see a larger account. So the account I have to show is it was started on the 10th of April. Can you see inside the oval circle? It's not a circle, but it's an oval shape in the red there where the red arrow was pointing. This account was funded on the 10th of April, 2025 for $10,000. Now, I couldn't see $10,000 anywhere. I saw 12,360. I saw 2,300. And it was described to me that, yes, the customer deposited 10,000. But at the date we were looking, which was the 16th of May, look at the right-hand corner, 16th of May. This was after 5 weeks. This account had achieved $2,360 in profits. It made 23% in 5 weeks. It went from 10,000 to 12,360, and I thought that was sensational. The next time we got a look at it was the 24th of June. You can see the timestamp here at 1:38. I don't know, is that the afternoon or is that middle of the night? It's probably after midnight, 1:38 on the 24th of June. The same account ending in 1972, have a look at that, after 5 more weeks had made another $3,200. So in the first 5 weeks, it made 2,300, but in the next 5 weeks, it flipped. It made 3,200. It made more. And that's the compounding effect. So after 10 weeks, this account made 55%. Imagine you bought a house at 100,000 and sold it 10 weeks later for 155,000. Isn't that good business? Then on the 10th of July last year, we logged in again. We found the account had grown by another $2,000 up to 17,000. And then after 4 months, this particular account had doubled. Now, again, it's not financial advice. I'm just showing you this is honest customer data. This was not provided to me by the company itself. This was a customer account that we're sharing. And I've got to say, it's quite impressive. It seems, I mean, the customer was expecting 15% a month, but it's averaged out at, well, very close to 25% a month. And I found out why. And it's because this little button here called the reinvestment button has been engaged. So the little green slider there, there's a little white button in it. If you shift it to the right-hand side, that means the profit you earn today will stay inside Binance, if that's where your account's trading. It'll stay inside Binance along with the principal amount holding. And together, the principal and profit work together to trade the following day. So that has a compounding effect. However, if the button is turned to the left-hand side in the off position, and every account is in the off position unless the customer themselves chooses to turn it on, when it's in the off position, the profit is added to your account every day for withdrawal purposes. So you can withdraw your profit at any time. You can turn it on and then compound it off and on at your discretion. It's your account. You're in control of that button. If you need cash flow, turn it off. Just let the money come out every day. If you've no need for cash flow, you might be keen to learn the powers of compounding. And there's lots of ways you can discover it. You can go to ChatGPT and type in something like, explain to me the effects of daily compounding at 0.5% a day. So you could ask ChatGPT, how would that work out for you over a period of time if you're interested? Or where else could you find it? Maybe YouTube. You could Google something like, find me a video that explains the power of daily compounding, and use I mean, it's a variable amount, but let's use a static amount of, say, 0.3% or 0.5% or 0.7% a day, and see what that might look like after a year or two. And it's quite mind-boggling, the power of compounding. Of course, it was Einstein that called it the eighth wonder of the world. Anyway, that was up until August last year. But then, of course, there was September and October and November and December. And again, we logged in December, 10th of December, bottom right-hand side. Can you see that at 7:35 in the evening? 1935 is 7 p.m. in the evening. On the 10th of December, the account had grown to 39,500. So it started at 10,000, and the AI did the trading. The customer didn't have anything to do. It went up to 12,000. It moved on up to 15. It went to 17, and it doubled in 4 months. And then what we saw was in the next 4 months, it doubled again, almost. 40,000 would be double 20, but it was 39,500, very, very close to another doubling occasion. In January, when we had a look, this is only after 9 months, the account moved up to 46,000, very close to 47. In February, the account moved up to 55,000. And on the 10th of March this year, it was up to 64,000 after 11 months. 10,000 did a 6x. Incredible results. Now, some people will say, well, how is that possible? Well, cryptocurrency markets are very volatile. You should never risk any more than you can afford to lose. But look at what's happening here. This is CoinMarketCap. This is a data center that it actually pulls the data from all the exchanges, from Binance, from Coinbase, from Kraken, from OKX, from KuCoin. It pulls all that data and all the prices of all the coins. And you can see here that some of these have gone up in 24 hours by 2,000%. So when we hear about Aurum doing 17% in a month or 10% in a month, 2,000% in a day, 816% in a day, 500% in a day, 530, 400% in a day, 390% in a day. Pepe, look at Pepe Trump, 423% increase in one day. And that just shows you 10% or 12% in a month ought to be achievable based on the information given to us here by CoinMarketCap. Somebody sent me across this account here from KuCoin. This account is one of several accounts that Aurum have been operating. This account started with $1.5 million in 2023. At this point, it was sitting at just nearly $16 million. And it tells you the profit and loss. In the last 30 days, it made $2.1 million in 30 days. The next time someone had a look at this account, it had grown to $20 million in profits, starting with $1.5 million. And then we could see the trading bot was connected over here. And this was interesting. Do you see what it says? Enable future trading to use the bonus. So these guys don't use future trading. They're not going to. They don't like it. They don't want to. It's a risky situation. I don't know anything about trading myself, but I'm told that futures is very dangerous. Don't touch it. And you can see that KuCoin are asking Aurum to enable the future trading. This button's flashing up for them, but they're not using it. They use spot trading only. Spot trading, high frequency spot trading. If you look down here with the blue arrow, it says deposit. Can you see the date there for your? I mean, it's very faint, but it does say the 11th of January 2023. This is when the EXI bot was started. This is the first deposit made to the account of $1.5 million. Now, when $1.5 million goes to $20 million in 3 years, you work out the math. We were able to see some trading going on, the order history books, the sell orders, the buy orders. We also had a look at the OKX account. We could see that we're trading Bitcoin down here, Doge, Bitcoin again, Pepe. They seem to be doing a lot of the meme tokens here. I'm not sure whether that it works for the Zeus bot or whatever, but the company were very willing to share a lot of this data with some of the trading type customers who understand trading. Now, that's all to do with the EXI bot. That's their best bot, I'm told. They do have 8 or 9 other ones. There's one called the Pro bot. There's another variety called the Zeus bot. They all have different parameters. They all different rules. Something there for any portfolio. Let's say you're getting involved in property. You could have a little piece in residential property. you might move into commercial property, or you might go into building property. That's three different sectors inside the property industry. Maybe you're in the metals business, so you could have a little bit of gold, you might have a little bit of platinum, a little bit of silver, so you're diversifying in different metals. And here you can diversify with different range of bots. You could try the one we looked at there that trades the top 20 pairs on coin market cap. And they have these other ones, specific bots. But again, I'm not here to tell you everything. I'm just giving you an overview on my findings and what I found interesting about this. And the last thing I want to talk about is this card. And I find this very strange and very, very confusing. This card does not require your passport, your driver's license. They don't ask for a bank statement. They don't ask for like a phone bill or anything like that. No KYC. And that's what I thought very strange. But then after speaking to Brian Benson, it doesn't surprise me. If he can pull together with the government's different products like gold and tokenized gold, if he can start doing business with the third largest property developer in the Emirates, and put together tokenized property, if he can get Visa and MasterCard to give him a card that doesn't require KYC, as strange as that is to me, this is incredible. And when it's hooked up to Google Pay and Apple Pay already working I know customers have been using this since last June 2025. So very, very impressive. They're going to have 4 versions of this. 2 of them will require KYC, and 2 of the cards that they're going to produce will not require them. The one I'm showing you here is the Infinity card. It doesn't require it. And you can put up to 100,000 a month. You can import your cryptos from anywhere. Let's say you have crypto sitting on, I don't know what you call these things, Trust Wallet, MetaMask, Binance, Coinbase. You can bring your USDT into your Aurum account and press top up and put it on your Visa card and go spend it. You don't need to go and find an exchange or somebody to cash out. Very incredible product this is. If you've trading profits that you want to spend, stop the bot trading. Just go stop trading. You're in charge. Just stop the trading. Then top up the card and the profit goes onto the card and you go spend it. Or if you get involved in the affiliate program, you get commissions over there, you put it on the card. So I think that's a really cool product. Again, the person that maybe shared this with you could explain it a little bit more. I'd like to show you it working. This was the second transaction ever done in the United Kingdom with one of these cards. You can see it's called the Infinity card, but look, this guy doesn't even have his name on it. There's no names goes on these cards. No KYC. Quite impressive. Have a listen to this.
Here we go then. Second official transaction.
No, purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Mina.
There you go. And imagine being able to spend your crypto in a traditional convenience store to get some milk. It's incredible. People have used it for buying clothes, booking flights. You can get it onto your smartphone. You click a little button twice and do that stuff, whatever that's called, virtual cards and tapping. The physical card's hard to get, but the virtual card's instant. So if you ordered it tonight, you'd have it tonight, and you can start working it as soon as you load it up with a little bit of crypto. So very impressive product. And then
Here we go then.
Then we have people using it at the ATM machines. So the physical card's required for that. This is a gentleman in India that shared this video with me.
हेलो दोस्तों, आप मेरे हाथ में ये कार्ड देख रहे होंगे, औरम का वीज़ा कार्ड, और मैं आज इंडिया में पहली बार एटीएम से इससे कैश विड्रॉल करने का प्रोसेस कर रहा हूँ और देखते हैं ये किस तरीके से काम करता है। ये बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से काम कर रहा है जैसे नॉर्मल अकाउंट एटीएम करते हैं, और मैं फ़िलहाल केवल 500 रुपीज़ इसमें से विड्रॉल करने की कोशिश करता हूँ और मैंने ये दबा दिया और ये बोल रहा है कि आप कितना कन्वर्जन के साथ आप किस तरीके से आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, और मैंने इस पर कंटिन्यू कर दिया और ये इसने कैश विड्रॉल मुझे अवेलेबल करा रहा है, जैसे कि आप देख ही रहे होंगे। और इसने बोला कि आप अपना कार्ड निकाल लीजिएगा। मैंने अपना कार्ड वापस ले लिया और ये मैंने 500 रुपीज़ आज फ़िलहाल विड्रॉल करके पहली बार ट्राई किया और ये सक्सेसफुल हुआ। थैंक यू।
There you go. Very, very, very impressive stuff. So that is my overview given this evening. Thank you for joining us. Again, if there's something there that interests you, please go seek professional advice, do your due diligence, get your questions answered, and I hope the decision you come up with is the right one for you and for your family.
Recording stopped.
Now, for those of you that like to stay on for a moment, I'm happy to share. Somebody asked me would I share the affiliate program. I have a good understanding of that, so yes, let me go ahead. And for those of you who like to understand the affiliate program, I can show you how that works. Let's get started here.
Recording in progress.
We're here to take a quick look at the Aurum affiliate program. Affiliate programs are very popular today. Most companies have them. You'd be surprised. Companies like Tesco in the UK and around Europe have an affiliate program. And what they want is they want Tesco customers to promote online Tesco products. And if you join the Tesco affiliate program and you did recommend a customer, Tesco would give you rewards and bonuses for bringing them new business. And that's the new way to do business. Apple have an affiliate program. Go to the bottom of apple.com, go to the bottom of their website. You'll find affiliate program. Click on that. You can register over there. And for those of you that like Apple and refer customers to Apple products online, Apple give you bonuses and payments for finding them business. Binance has an affiliate program, but the biggest of all is Amazon have an affiliate program. Now, they became popular because television advertising brands a company, but it doesn't get you results. If you're watching a TV program and in between the movie, these advertisements come on, what do? You change the channel and have a look at, see what else is on, don't you? So these companies are paying millions of dollars and you don't want to see the advert. You click to something else. Let's see what's on the other channel before the movie starts again. Isn't that right? Or maybe you say, hey, there's a break. Let's get a cup of tea. Who wants coffee? Who wants tea? 1 sugar? 2 sugars? 1? No sugar? Okay. And you run and try and make the tea as fast and get back before the start of the film. So traditional advertisement is a bad way to spend money, I think. And there's nobody better to promote any product or any service than an existing happy customer. So the new way of marketing is Facebook ads and Facebook marketing. And the other way is Google. And Google have very clever ways now that if you are looking or searching for something, and let's say it's a bucket. You're looking for a bucket and you type in bucket. There's companies out there like hardware stores and wholesalers that sell buckets will pay Google to send you to them. And they bargain and they actually auction this word and these seed words, and the company that pays the most. And even if you click on bucket and go and look at it and say, no, I don't want a bucket, the bucket company still has to pay Google. So they make fortunes and millions of dollars. I know companies are spending millions. I'm talking more than $1 million a month just advertising on Google, more than $1 million a month for people to click and that's a different way of marketing. But as I said, there's nobody better to promote any product or service than an existing happy customer. If somebody called into your house tonight and said, I have a leak in the bathroom, have you a name of a plumber local here that can help me out? I mean, this thing's bad. What are you going to do? You're going to pick up your phone. You're going to select your plumber. And you're going to say, hey, I'll get you his number here in 1 second. Hold on a second, I get him for you. And you're going to promote your plumber, or the ladies will promote a hairdresser, or where you got the nice shoes, or which holiday you've been on, or what accountant you use. We promote things every day of our lives. We don't get paid for it. We don't make money. If somebody asked you where a nice restaurant is in town, you'd promote your favorite restaurant. You're not going to promote something you don't like. And same here with Aurum. If it's something you like, you can promote it, but you don't have to. It's not obligatory. And what I like about this is it doesn't cost anything. It's free. That's important. So anybody has an Aurum bank account, they have an affiliate link in their back office, and if they choose to use it, they do. And if they choose not to use it, that's perfectly fine. But for those of you that do use your referral link, Aurum give you a handshake, or I call it a thank you bonus. You get a thank you bonus. They say, hey, thank you, customer. We've just got this customer because you sent them your link. Now we've got new business. So instead of paying Apple and Google and Facebook and the TV and the radio and the magazine, they pay you. That's what an affiliate program is. There are 15 ranks in this affiliate program. And everybody starts as a Nova, and you start off and you get 3% if anybody referred by you tries that EXI product. So if they try $100, for instance, you get $3. Now it's not going to get you rich, is it? $3. But if that customer decides in a month, 2 or 3 months or 4 months from now to do another $100, well, then you get another 3%. So it's an ongoing 3% on all of your customers. If a customer decides to try $1,000, you're going to get $30. If they do $10,000, you get $300. So it's 3% on every deposit of all your own frontline customers. You can have 2 customers or 1 customer. You could have 4 customers or 9 or 15 or 10,000. Doesn't matter. It's a one-tier affiliate program, just like Amazon, just like Apple, just like Tesco, just like all the big stores, and just like Binance. Now, if you want more than 3%, what you need to do is you need to get a pay rise. So how do you get a pay rise? You go Voyager. How do you go Voyager? You require 7,500 of total team trading in your whole team. So let's say you had 2 customers just, and one customer did $100, and the other customer did $100. That's $200. You're not qualified, are you? No, you need 7,500. But if that customer told another customer, and that customer told another customer, and that customer told another customer, and somewhere down there in all of the customers that initiated from your initial referral link, once that reaches 7,500 of all customers, total base, you get the promotion. You get 5% on deposits. If one of your customers gets a customer that you don't know about, they get the 3, you get 2% override on customers you don't even know. You get a $100 instant cash bonus, and then every day you get 5% on the profits. So you get 5% on all of the profits of all of the customers in the entire structure generated from your initial link. There could be 9 customers in there, there could be 15, there could be 400. As long as there's no other Voyagers on that line, you're the only one. You're getting 5% on every single profit of every single customer. A really good bonus. Now, if you'd like a pay rise, just like traditional business, you go from working on the shop floor to a supervisor, you get a pay rise. And then when you get promoted from supervisor to manager, you get a pay rise. And when you get promoted from manager to area manager, you get a pay rise. And when you get promoted from area manager to director of the company, you get a pay rise. So each promotion comes with a pay rise. If you want a pay rise, you need to go Vanguard. How do you go Vanguard? Easy. Easy. You help find 2 Voyagers. You need 25,000 in total accumulated trading volume in the entire structure. And the good news about the 2 Voyagers is you don't have to find them yourself. They can appear anywhere in the genealogy, anywhere in the network. Maybe they're not even the people you told about it, but maybe somebody down in the 4th generation, maybe a different person on the 11th generation. As long as they're on 2 different lines, you go Vanguard. You get 7% on deposits. You get 500 instant bonus. And every single day now, you get 7.5% on profits of all of the customers, except when you reach that Voyager, or let's say the Voyager's on the 4th line. Yes, you'll get 7.5% on their business. But on what goes below the Voyager, they get the 5%, you get the difference. You get 2.5 to infinity generations on all profits of all customers. Really, really good. Now, if you've understood what I've said, you understand 90% of our compensation plan. If you want a pay rise to 9%, you just need a little bit more volume and a little bit more structure. If you'd like 10.5, a little bit more volume, a little bit of structure. If you want 12%, a little bit more volume, a little bit of structure, and you can work your way up to the top of the Aurum mountain. Each time you get a rank, you get $1,000, $2,000 cash bonus, $5,000, $10,000 cash bonus. You might have heard me say there are 15 ranks to the top. Well, that's 7 of them. If we turn the page, you'll find that those that go elite get a $20,000 cash bonus. For those of you that can make Magnet, you get 50,000. Mythos gets 100. Legends get 150. And if you can reach the lofty heights of Dominion, you're one of Brian Benson's millionaires. You may have heard on a previous presentation or an earlier presentation on a call with Brian Benson himself. He wants to create a $1 billion brand, but he also wants to generate 1,000 millionaires. I have no doubt if you work your way to Dominion, you're most certainly one of Brian Benson's millionaires. Because look, this $500,000 bonus plus the 150, that's 650, plus the 100, that's 750, plus the 50, that's $800,000, plus the 20 is 820,000, plus whatever we had on the first page, plus these direct bonuses, plus these matching bonuses, plus these shareholder bonuses, you're a Brian Benson millionaire. So this is a vehicle, just like your car is a vehicle to take you from your home to the shop. This is a vehicle that takes you from where you are today financially to where it is you might like to be. It's as simple as that. Again, don't be misled that high earnings are easily achieved. They're not. It takes work, it takes time, it takes skill. But those of you that roll up your sleeves and go to work, those of you that have goals and visions to succeed, those of you that attend the trainings and do the work and do what's necessary, those are the guys that are going to be one of Brian Benson's 1,000 millionaires. So with that said, that's our presentation finished for this session. I want to thank you for joining us. I hope you found some value there. And I hope the decision you come up with is the right one for you and for your family. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks. Goodbye.
Recording stopped.
There we go. We got a couple of videos in there. We got the Brian Benson video in. We got a couple of ATM withdrawal videos. We did 2 sessions there, and all inside 1 hour, less than 1 hour, 50 minutes. We didn't start to 10 past. It's now 9 o'clock, 9:03. So thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're back same time tomorrow, same link, same time, 8 o'clock. And that'll be the end of the presentations this week.